Welcome back to Cult Crimes and Spirits. I'm Nina.
And I'm Andrea.
And today we are talking about the Oklahoma City bombing.
It's episode 11.
Can you believe that?
I can't. It's been what they say though. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yes. I've been having a lot of fun doing the podcast. I love it.
Me too.
You sounded so enthusiastic there.
Sorry, I'm multitasking. I'm like trying to pull up the Google Doc on Safari and have our recording on Chrome so I can see us and read our doc. You get me?
I get you. Yeah.
I am excited though. I know that sounded like trash.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because my brain was like, why is this not working?
I'm trying to focus on too many things at once.
Story of my life.
The date was April 19th, 1995, when a man by the name of Timothy McVeigh parked a rented Ryder truck outside of the 9-story Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in downtown Oklahoma City. It was loaded with a homemade bomb. The bomb would detonate just after 9 a.m., ending and changing countless lives forever.
So early. Why do people do shit like so early in the morning?
You want them to wait till after lunch to like detonate a bomb?
Yeah, like let them enjoy their day. Like 9/11, plane hit 9 a.m.
Yeah.
The fuck? It's weird.
It is.
Why so early?
Yeah.
It's never like, oh, 2:30 p.m. I mean, probably somewhere out there, but anyways.
That's your problem with this.
No, I just think it's like, fuck, 9 a.m.? Why was he awake that early? He was so pissed. He was like, oh, I can't wait anymore. I'm not even going to sleep.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was thinking.
That asshole, Timothy McVeigh, enlisted in the U.S. Army in 1988. This is where he met fellow soldier Terry Nichols. Timothy and Terry shared the same type of views and interests. So Terry would assist Timothy in the Oklahoma City bombing. Good old Timothy and Terry. TTT, triple T's.
Triple threat. They're both assholes.
So, well, it's not surprising their names are similar.
Mm-hmm.
Start with T, end with Y.
I didn't even notice that, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, assholes.
Well, McVeigh served in the Gulf War, and he actually received several medals for his service, and he had dreams of joining the Green Beret. But after
What's that?
I don't know. I think it's just like a more specialized group.
Like a...
Kind of like a...
rank up or something?
Well, kind of like the Marines or something like that. Like, it's just another group.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're like, it's like really hard to get into. Kind of like the Marines. And after psychological testing, he was deemed unfit for some reason. Wonder why.
Do they state the reason anywhere? Probably not. It's probably
I couldn't
confidential.
find it, but I'm assuming it's because it was batshit crazy, but I don't know.
Yeah, they probably noticed something loose up there.
Yeah. And
they're like, nah, dude, nah.
Or maybe it was like, maybe they do some kind of training and they expose you to something to see how you will react psychologically. And maybe
he didn't.
Yeah, maybe he didn't pass that or something.
He failed.
Yeah. I don't know. But he left the army in 1991 after 4 years of service. And after leaving the army, his views shifted to more of like hatred of the U.S. government. He felt like
So he went from like, I'm gonna protect USA, army, love my government, to, alright, I got denied the Green Beret. I hate y'all.
Yeah, like, fuck the government now. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck y'all. I was gonna say that, but then I censored myself for some reason.
Yeah, you never do that.
I feel like it was because I felt like the government was listening, and they're like, "We're gonna find her because she said fuck y'all."
Well, they're always listening. I've just come to accept it. Yeah, my husband won't let me get an Alexa or anything like that in our house because he thinks the government's
They're
listening.
listening.
And I'm like, well, duh, but they're listening on our
Well, there's a
phones.
video where the Alexa called the cops because she heard arguing or something. No, for real.
That's
I heard so. I don't know the facts, so I just am quoting
yeah.
very loosely. But
That is annoying. Like, because they are listening. I mean, like Edward Snowden kind of, pointed that out, but
yeah,
it is what it is. I'm not breaking any
it's a
laws, so
simulation.
yeah. We're all in the Matrix.
Whoever is playing my character, can you please? I need a hug. I'm not even kidding. It's been a rough day.
Wow.
ABAB for the cheat code, please.
Oh, cheat codes. I used to have to look those up for Dakota all the time.
Yeah, I know they're little cheaters, those millennials.
Yeah.
Wait, are they Gen Zs? No, we are.
We're
We
millennials.
wait.
He's a Gen Zer.
Oh, oops, I flipped them.
Yeah, I always get
My
confused
bad.
too. Well, we're millennials.
Okay. All right.
Anyways,
We got sidetracked.
back to this guy.
Back.
So,
You sound like Bam Margera's mom. Back to this guy.
oh, I love April Margera.
Me too.
So Timothy McVeigh, he's out of the army. Now, instead of hating foreign countries, he now hates our government. So, he felt like the government.
Ooh.
What?
He especially hates Bill Clinton.
I feel like a lot of people hate Bill Clinton. That's kind of common.
I was too young to really understand.
Yeah, all I know is I did not have sex with that woman. That's all I really remember.
Sexual relations.
Sexual relations with that woman. Although he did.
Yeah, you. Dude, good white lie, Bill. Good white lie. You really fooled us.
Yeah. Well, he felt like the government was trying to disarm the American people, and it was in part because Bill Clinton had just got elected president in 1992, and his campaign focused heavily on gun control. So, another reason
Yeah.
to not like Bill Clinton, I guess.
Ooh, but shout out 1992.
Yeah, the year you were born.
I always shout it out.
I know. Well, in 1992, also, the standoff at Ruby Ridge happened in a remote part of Boundary County, Idaho, and this influenced McVeigh into hating the government more, because during this botched standoff between Randy Weaver, his family, and government agents, shit went wrong.
How wrong?
Very wrong. Randy and his family lived off the grid, and they were stockpiling weapons because they believed the end of the world to be imminent.
Damn, people been doing this for a long time.
Right. Randy was arrested in 1989 after allegedly selling undercover ATF agents illegal allegedly sawed-off shotguns. He was released on bail, and a trial was set. After failing to show up for his trial, a warrant was issued for his arrest. Yeah.
He should have showed up for his warrant.
Yeah.
God, you can tell the emotion in that.
Oh. Yes, you're passionate about that one. So U.S. Marshals were sent to his doorstep, and they were surveilling the area in hopes of bringing Randy in peacefully. So they were trying to figure out a plan of action to just bring him in peacefully, because they knew he was definitely armed.
I wonder what that plan was, though, and if it was real.
Yeah, I think they did have a plan. They were trying to find.
Did they actually execute the plan?
No.
And that's how they figured out things didn't work out that way?
No, I think things went wrong. I think they were going to have two agents pose as their new neighbors or something like that, but they never really got to execute the plan that they had. Because
shit hit the fan.
Shit hit the fan. I think their dog started kind of going nuts, and then they realized that the agents were outside.
Oh.
Yeah. Randy's wife, Vicky, and 14-year-old son, Sammy, and a U.S. Marshal, William Deegan, were killed in the standoff that lasted 11 days.
11 days in a neighborhood?
Well, they lived off the
Oh,
grid.
off grid.
Yeah.
Off grid. My bad. Yeah. That's why.
um,
Wait, yeah, neighbors. That's weird. Off
I
grid
know.
neighbors.
I
That's
was like,
suspicious.
what a dumb plan. Yeah, I mean that would be suspicious because it's like, we live off grid, so we don't have to deal with neighbors. When you're going over to borrow a cup of fucking sugar.
Yeah, my dog obviously does not like you.
Yeah.
So, red flag.
Yeah. So Randy was eventually taken in and charged with conspiracy and murder, amongst other crimes. And he was
I love how they
convicted.
can charge people with conspiracy, but we can't charge their asses with conspiracy.
Yeah. Well, they're the
Because if
government.
there's. That's fucked.
Well, we'll come back to that. So, even though he was charged with conspiracy and murder and some other stuff, he was only convicted on his failure to appear on the previous weapons charges, because there was a task force that actually found faults in how the federal agents handled everything. So
If
basically,
he would
he
have
didn't.
shown up for his warrant, he would have been fine.
Well, I mean, he
Is
was
what you're
fine, but
saying?
his wife and son weren't. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, if
no,
he
I
would
mean,
have
like,
just.
nothing would have happened if he would have just shown up.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought you were saying that. I thought you were saying the task force found faults in how the federal agents carried out the Ruby Ridge situation. So I thought that meant that he wasn't, like, gonna get charged at all.
No. So he was charged, like, he sold those sawed off shotguns, right?
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah. So he didn't show up for court. They issued a warrant for his arrest, and they wanted to bring him in, and they knew he was armed because they knew he was like stockpiling guns and he lived off grid. So that's why they went to the house to try to like arrest him
Yeah,
peacefully.
that's when they shot. The 11 days of shooting.
Yep. And his wife, son, and a
Died.
federal agent
Yeah.
or US Marshal died. And then he was only charged he was charged with conspiracy and murder, but he was only convicted on his previous weapons charges, so the charges of like selling the sawed-off shotgun.
Okay,
Because
because the task
the
force.
yeah,
So they got rid of the murder and the conspiracy because they found faults in the
yeah,
federal agent. Okay,
because the federal agents
gotcha.
apparently
I was
didn't.
just slightly confused, but now I understand.
Yeah. And
Okay.
so when you were saying how the government never gets in trouble, when they kind of did get in trouble on this one.
Alright.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, fair.
But the damage was done for McVeigh because he saw this as the government just trying to wage war with ordinary citizens. And then a year later, in 1993, the Waco siege takes place, which did not help things.
Good old Waco.
Yeah, that one was 51 days. You thought 11 days was a lot. That was 51, remember?
Yeah, I know. I remember. But see, I didn't know that there was something that had happened before Waco that was similar.
Yeah. Well, I didn't either until I was doing research because, I mean, we were babies when all this stuff was going down.
Yeah,
I
we
was
were
talking.
learning how to like survive.
Yeah. Um, I was talking to my dad while I was doing research for this, and I was like, you know what? I was like, first of all, the 90s, best decade to grow up in. I loved it.
Oh, for real. I miss
We're
it.
we're 90s babies all the way. But I told my
Through and
dad,
through.
yeah, I told my dad, I was like, the 90s was crazy. I was like, y'all had some crazy shit. And he started laughing, and I was like, y'all had, uh, you know,
Cutting the dick off, throwing it out the window.
yeah, Lorena Bobbitt, you had the Bill Clinton scandal, you had Waco, you had this Ruby Ridge thing, you had OJ and his slow speed weird chase. um, you had
Kurt Cobain dying.
the bombing, the Oklahoma City bombing that we're talking about. I mean, count like
All kinds of shit.
tons and tons of stuff just making headlines left and right in the 90s. The 90s, man. Okay.
Yeah. The 90s. They were crazy.
Yeah. And I told my dad, I was like, now, I was like, you don't see that, like, a lot of stuff like that on TV anymore. Not that it was great or anything, because, I mean, that stuff was bad,
Yeah.
but now it's
People
just like,
died.
Yeah, but now it's just like mass shooting, mass shooting, mass shooting,
Yeah.
mass shooting.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah. I mean, it's still horrible and crazy, but it's like the same thing. Every
Yeah.
other day you turn on the
It's
TV,
like,
mass shooting.
so you almost like get like desensitized because you're like, oh, I've seen this 200 times.
Yeah, you
Oh,
really
another
do.
one. And
Mhm.
it's sad because people die.
Mhm.
Anyways, the Waco siege or Waco massacre, it lasted, as Nina said, 51 days and began on the morning of February 28th, 1993, when a botched siege on the Branch Davidian compound and their leader, David Koresh, resulted in the death of 4 ATF agents and over 70 deaths of the Branch Davidian members. We did an episode on this a few weeks ago, so if you want to know more about the Waco siege and our thoughts on the whole matter, go back a couple episodes and check it out.
Yeah, cuz I feel like we're kind of in the Timothy McVeigh's team on this one. Like, we definitely didn't agree
Yeah,
with how things were carried out. But I mean, I don't think you should retaliate by bombing.
no. Violence, you do not retaliate with more violence because that just creates chaos and more. It's just like a never ending loop. It's all
Mhm.
love. Like, yeah, you're upset, but you should maybe do something to better educate people or something.
Yeah, exactly. For sure.
But large crowds gathered outside of the Branch Davidian compound when all of this was taking place, and Timothy McVeigh was there, and he was pissed the fuck off.
Yeah, he was.
He was out there selling bumper stickers from his car that said things like, "When guns are outlawed, I will become an outlaw. A man with a gun a man with a gun is a citizen. A man without a gun is a subject." Shows
Yep.
you how he was really thinking around that time of Waco,
Yeah. And I wonder if he
just
came
two
up with
years
that.
prior.
Yeah.
I wonder too, or if like he saw it somewhere, but back then there wasn't like internet and memes and shit. So
Yeah, I know. So I'm like,
when
if
guns
he,
are outlawed, I'll become an outlaw.
I know. I mean, it sounds like, I
Like
mean,
what the
it's a
fuck?
good,
That should be on a biker's jacket or something.
yeah, like it sounds like something that would actually be on like a t-shirt or something.
The whole "a man with a gun is a citizen, a man without a gun's a subject." I get it, but I like the first one better. It
Yeah, I like the
rhymes.
first one for sure. Well, obviously, McVeigh was frustrated with how the government agents handled things at Waco, so he staged the Oklahoma City bombing to be on the second anniversary of the end of the Waco siege, which was April 19th. Um,
Trying to make a fucking statement or some shit.
yeah,
Killing people, not worth it.
not worth it.
It puts you on the same side as the ATF. Come on.
Yeah, now you're just killing innocent people. Like,
Exact. Chill. Oh, I'm gonna shut up.
that's why I say he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Um, so
It's
according to
weird how
this,
we're like on his side, but we're like, fuck him.
yeah, like
But like,
like
we're on your side, but
I
fuck
get his views on things, because like like I said, I definitely feel like Waco was not handled properly, and there are
him. Yeah.
things that happen in the world that just aren't fair or aren't handled properly. But it is what it is, and it sucks. But I mean, you don't need to kill more innocent people. What is that going to solve? That's why I don't understand all
Exactly.
these mass
It wasn't
shootings. It's
like
like,
he was like related to them either. It wasn't like a family member was in the Branch Davidians that died. That's like, I could kind of understand that if like he lost like a mom or a sister or like
mm-hmm,
anyone in his family, like him like losing it and being like fuck y'all.
mm-hmm,
But he was just an angry American that was there watching it go down.
yeah, and according to the Associated Press, McVeigh had written letters to newspapers complaining of political corruption, and in one letter he reportedly said, "Do we have to shed blood to reform the current system? I hope it doesn't come to that, but it might." Interesting choice of
No,
words.
don't be passive aggressive towards the government or the Associated or wherever he wrote the letters to.
Yeah.
Like, I get where you're coming from, but like they're gonna take that as like you threatening them.
Yeah.
When McVeigh was at Waco during the standoff, he reportedly said, "The government had declared war against the American people, and he wanted to fire the first shot in a new American Revolution." Well, I guess he fucking did.
The homemade bomb that was detonated outside of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building just after 9 a.m. was made of an assortment of chemicals, diesel fuel, and fertilizer. The Ryder truck the bomb was placed in was packed with nearly 5,000 tons of explosives. The blast registered a 3.2 on the Richter scale.
Shit. 5,000 tons.
Yeah, where do you even get? I don't even know.
He had people he knew.
Mm-hmm.
Terry! Come here, Terry!
Terry.
Put it in reverse, Terry!
Oh my gosh.
Oh. Okay. According to... I just see Timothy McVeigh jumping in the getaway car and being like, "Shit, put it in reverse, Terry, put it in reverse."
I feel like, what is that movie? What
I don't
what
know,
is
you have
it?
to tell me.
It's like Shirley and I don't know, like they're two women. What are their names? And they like drive off a cliff or something.
What the fuck are you
Uh,
talking? They
it's
kill
not.
themselves?
It's yeah. I don't know. I've never
It's
seen the
not
movie.
Laverne and
It's
Shirley?
not Laverne and Shirley. That's what I was about to say. But that's like an old TV show that I love. But I don't know.
Anyways, what about it?
Thelma and Louise. What the hell? Okay.
Shirley. I was about to say Thelma and Louise, but you said Shirley, and I was like,
I know.
well,
I was like, where the fuck am I getting Shirley? Thelma and Louise. I picture um uh Terry and Timothy like Thelma and
Thelma and
Louise.
Louise.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Anyway.
According to Special Agent Jim Norman, when the bomb went off, he was sitting at his desk, which was about 5 miles away from the Murrah Building. He said, "It shook everything in the office. Files were falling off of people's desks where they had them piled up." Which is crazy to me to think like 5 miles away it was that explosive to shake stuff off of people's desks.
Yeah. That's intense.
Yeah. Well, shortly after that, he then told his supervisor, because he started looking out the window towards downtown Oklahoma City, and he noticed a dark cloud was forming over the city. And he said, "I think a bomb detonated downtown and we need to go there. Like, now."
Yeah. I wouldn't even know like what I mean, because like part of you is like you're in law enforcement, you want to go and you want to help, but then you're like, what the heck's going on? You kind of
Yeah,
like,
like, complete mystery, chaos. Like,
yeah.
Jim Norman's wife works in that building. And, like, I think he was freaking out because he hadn't heard from her for a minute. And then she got in contact with him.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, obviously McVeigh targeted the Murrah building because it was full of U.S. government workers.
Yeah, a third of the Murrah building was completely destroyed, and 168 people were killed, including 19 children who were in the building's daycare center at the time. 98 of the victims worked for the federal government, and hundreds of others were injured, and over 300 other buildings were damaged or destroyed. Like, come on.
That is like mind blowing.
You just took out, like, blocks.
Yeah. The damage. I mean, can you imagine? I
Yeah,
don't even know how
no, the
long it took
cleanup, the
them.
wreckage,
Yeah.
like,
To get
the
back to some
rebuilding, the
sort of,
finding people, like, oh my god.
yeah.
The
Getting back to
kids. Did you know,
that.
like, the youngest one was, like, 4 months or something?
Yeah, I read that. That
It
is
was so
like,
sad.
that is so sad. That's why I feel like he is like the biggest asshole ever, because it's like I get your beef with the government, but then you're killing innocent people. Not only are you killing innocent people, you're killing children. Like
Yeah.
what? Like that just
You're
makes
doing the same thing the ATF did!
yeah. They killed children at the Branch Davidian compound
Waco.
in
Yeah.
Waco. Yeah. I don't know. It's just I can't even.
Me
Like
either.
that pisses me off more than anything when someone hurts kids. because like they're
Yeah.
more innocent than anybody.
Exactly. They don't deserve that.
No.
Fucking ass. I'm getting mad. Okay.
Let's move on. Let's get mad at
Yeah.
the media.
All right.
Because,
It's the media's turn now. Fuck y'all.
yeah, the good old media always stirring shit up.
You
Um,
know about that.
yeah, yeah, I used to work for them. Um, so they mistakenly hinted at the fact that, well, let me just say, I worked in local news, and local news was fine.
I was about to
I,
say, don't make it sound like you worked for like some corrupt media corp. I mean,
no,
maybe they were. I don't know.
no, the local news, the local
It's
news
different.
companies that I worked for, they were like legit. They were awesome. Like they fact checked. They really did their research. They ran good
It's other
stories.
medias,
It's other media, a lot of the bigger media.
tabloids and shit.
Yeah, it just depends on what you're
They
talking
just
about.
want
But
to get your like attention, so they'll just write whatever.
yeah, and they don't really take the time to fact check and really do what you're supposed to do as a journalist in journalism. Yeah, and the companies that I worked for did. I had a great experience. I'm not saying anything about them. I'm just saying, in general, the media not always should be trusted.
Yeah, I usually don't even watch the news.
Yeah,
Like any station, big or
same.
small. Anyways.
um, but the media, like some, instead of fact checking and waiting until they have something from the police, they were kind of hinting at the fact that it was probably the work of Middle Eastern terrorists. Because, like, I think it was the year before or a couple years before, like another like bomb had went off in New York. So like, and that
Hmm.
was like Middle
A
Eastern
terrorism
terrorists
thing.
yeah. So they were just assuming that this was the same thing, and you should never assume in news. Like, don't ever
Yeah.
assume.
No. We make an ass out of you and me.
Yeah, like you have to wait until you have confirmation from a reliable source, usually the police. Um, I mean, you can't just go saying random stuff, just like in the Kurt Cobain thing. They just jumped to, well, he has a gunshot wound. There's a note. It
Suicide.
was suicide. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, they hinted at the fact that it was probably Middle Eastern terrorists before knowing the facts. Um, but they were very, very wrong because it was a white man who was also a former soldier.
Crazy.
Yeah. Not what people would
The
have.
complete opposite.
So McVeigh made his way from the scene of the bombing in a getaway car that he had parked there a couple days before.
Put it in reverse,
And
Terry.
um, but he didn't get very far because this is like, I guess if I mean this is like a dark story, but this is like the light in the story.
Yeah.
He was pulled over about 90 minutes after the bombing because his getaway car did not have a license plate.
Wow, dumbass.
Yeah. So when it was
He was too
discovered,
busy making the explosives.
yeah, to worry about your license plate. Like if you're gonna commit a crime, maybe make sure like you have your like shit in order on your car so you don't get pulled over. So when he got pulled over because of having no license plate, it was discovered that he also had a concealed weapon. So the cop that pulled him over arrested him and took him to jail. And the police had no idea at the time that he was the bomber.
But they had him. That's crazy.
Yeah. So he didn't get to, you know, fire off the first shot of an American Revolution or whatever and get to be free for very long. So
90 minutes, that's all he got.
yeah. So on April 20th, part of the Ryder rental truck that carried the bomb was found, and the police were able to trace it back because it had like some kind of number on it, and they were able to trace it back to the body shop in
Junction.
Junction City, Kansas. And
Junction City.
it reminds me of what is that?
There's a Tyler Childers song called Junction. God.
It's hard to say.
Junction City. Queen, dance with me.
Oh, is he from Kansas?
He's from Kentucky.
Oh.
He grew up like near your mom's and Mary's office.
Oh.
Mary looked it up.
It reminds me of, what is that? It's like that Schoolhouse Rock or something, and I was like,
Yeah.
something
Schoolhouse.
Junction, what's your function? I don't even know.
Function.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to love Schoolhouse Rock.
I do too. But anyways, so
You know what's funny?
huh.
When I listened to Junction City Queen, I think that's the name of the song by Tyler. I thought he was saying Johnson City.
Well, I
And I was
mean, he's
like, oh,
close
I know
to
where that
that.
is.
Yeah, if he is
Again,
from
he's going
Kentucky.
on tour there, and hopefully we can all get tickets, but we'll see.
Yeah, probably super expensive. I don't even know what this guy is, so I'd just be going to hang out with you guys. So I
That's
have no idea.
crazy. That's
What?
wild. That you don't know who he is. That you
Yeah,
just be
I'm not.
going to hang. Like,
Yeah.
what?
I have no idea. Anyway, the employees at the shop in Junction City, Kansas, helped police come up with like a description and drawing of a suspect. Um, Police led an exhaustive search conduct. I can't
That's
talk.
fucking a lot, though, to say right there.
Police led an exhaustive search, conducting thousands of interviews, checking tons of airline reservations and hotel registrations. The police eventually released the sketch of the suspect, and the owner of the Dreamland Motel located in the Junction City recognized him as a guest registered under the name Timothy McVeigh. Also, gonna commit a crime. Maybe
Dumbass.
don't use your
Don't
real
use your
name.
real name.
Mm,
I mean,
yeah,
come on.
that's like criminology
101.
101. um, so anyway,
Glad we're on the same wavelength with that. Like, come on, dumbass.
I know. So when police
Or put
went,
Terry's name down. Fuck Terry.
throw him under the bus.
I don't know why, but I don't like Terry. Like, fuck Terry.
Um, so when police went to start searching for McVeigh, they quickly discovered he was already in jail in Noble County uh, Jail in Perry, Oklahoma.
So no crazy manhunt ensued. That
Right.
sucks. I mean, in a way.
Yeah.
More people probably would have died, but...
Yeah.
But as McVeigh was getting ready to be released from jail, he was arrested again. This time on more serious charges, obviously. So when police noticed when McVeigh checked into the Dreamland Motel, he put down a Michigan address. He listed that same address when he was arrested initially. The address was the home...
Good old Terry. Why are you laughing?
Because I was like, you should have put Terry's name down, you dumb bitch. But no, he just gave out Terry's fucking address.
Oh.
Yeah, the address was the home of Terry Nichols' brother. Remember, he is the McVeigh's friend that was in the army with Timothy. Timothy and Terry, remember? The police started connecting the dots and the evidence, and Terry was looking pretty suspicious at this point.
Suspicious.
So sus, Terry.
Damn it, Terry.
Back at it again, Terry.
Oh, fucking Terry.
Anyways.
Well, suspicious old Terry turned himself into police a couple days after McVeigh's arrest for questioning after learning the police were looking for him. The police arrested Terry after a few hours of questioning him, and although on the day the bombing actually occurred, Terry was pretty far away in Kansas, so I guess at his brother's house, so he didn't detonate the bomb, but it seemed like he helped McVeigh build it.
Oh shit. Because the police found a receipt at Terry's home for 2,000 pounds of fertilizer. And guess whose fingerprints were on the receipt? Good old McVeigh's. It was also alleged that Terry stole items needed to create the bomb, including the detonating cord. There was other evidence in Terry's case, but a lot of it was
We cannot say words. Why did we start a
I was
podcast?
about to say circumcision, and I was like, bitch, no. But a lot of it was circumstantial.
There you go. In August 1995, Terry and McVeigh were charged with conspiring to use a weapon of mass destruction to kill people and destroy federal property, using a weapon of mass destruction that caused death and injury, the malicious destruction of federal property by explosives, and 8 counts of first-degree murder of federal law enforcement officers. Not sure why it was only 8, but
That's a lot of charges, though.
yeah. Well, another associate of McVeigh and Terry's, Michael Fortier, now comes into play. So Michael was their friend from the army as well. Michael and his wife Lori were considered to be important witnesses in the trial for McVeigh, because supposedly McVeigh told Michael and his wife Lori about the bombing plot 9 months before the bombing.
9 months? That's how long it takes a baby to be made.
Yeah. Michael also helped McVeigh case the building. So,
Sneaky.
yeah, he went with him to case the building before the bombing. Lori even used her iron to laminate a fake driver's license for McVeigh that was eventually used to rent the Ryder truck that he placed the bomb in.
Mm.
Yeah, so they were definitely accomplices.
Totally.
So Michael took a plea deal. I wouldn't have even offered him one. But Michael took a plea deal and pleaded guilty to not alerting the police, lying to police, and selling stolen guns to help finance the bombing. Because apparently McVeigh and Terry stole some guns, and Michael sold them and gave them the money to finance whatever they bought for the bomb. I mean, they stole a lot of the stuff, but
Kleptomaniacs.
and Michael's plea deal also included that no charges be brought against Lori for her involvement, which I think is kind of bullshit because she knew that it was going to happen as well.
Yeah, don't take Lori.
And he was sentenced to only 12 years in prison and fined like 200 grand or something. And he ended up serving less than 11 years. And when he was released from prison in 2006, it's so weird to go back to that because I've been saying like 20 whatever for so long. 2006.
2006.
Michael and his family were placed in witness protection and given
Why?
new identities. Well, because people probably want to freaking kill them after, they could have stopped like one
True.
of the worst terrorist attacks before 9/11.
That's crazy that they have new identities now.
Yeah, so there's like living life,
Imagine that though, going to jail, being there for 11 years, getting out. Oh, fuck you.
What was that?
A car.
Oh.
Getting out and things being so much different than it was. And not only that, but now you have a whole new identity that you have to consume and be in.
Yeah, I would not be able to do that because, like,
I'd slip up.
I would too.
I'm too
But
authentic. Like, it's
same.
hard for me to even lie.
Same. I hate lying. I don't like being lied to.
Same. In 1998, Terry was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for his role in the bombing. He didn't get the death penalty because the jury could not come to a unanimous decision on that. But in 2004, another trial took place on state charges. The previous trial was at a federal level. So the state charges included over 160 counts of first-degree murder in which he could have received the death penalty. Although he was found guilty on all counts, he was spared yet again because the damn jury could not reach unanimous decision on the death penalty.
On June 2nd, 1997, McVeigh was found guilty on all counts, and he was executed on June 11th, 2001. Also, like, what the heck? That was only like 4 years. And I thought people
Yeah,
usually
that's
stayed on,
fast.
yeah, death row for like 20 years. Not this
Some
guy.
people.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
how long did John Wayne Gacy stay on?
I don't know.
He was fast, right?
I don't
I
think
think.
so.
I thought he was. They had him in jail for a while?
Mm-hmm. He was sentenced to death on March 13th, 1980, but he died on May 10th, 1994.
Oh, shit. 14 years?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, people are usually on death row for a long time, but not this guy. But yeah, anyways,
Yeah, that's
sidetrack.
fast.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was fast, and I'm like, is it because, of the specific crime he did? Because, I mean,
Yeah, that he targeted federal
yeah, they sped
people.
up, they sped up his shit real fast. Because I feel like, you know, everybody, the reason it usually takes so long is because they have, like, all the appeals that they can do.
Yeah.
And for him, they probably were like denying those pills like left and right. Because they were like, I mean, obviously he wasn't getting out of that.
Yeah, no. He probably killed people that they knew and they had hookups with other, like, it's all connected.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm sad that he got the death penalty,
No,
but
but that's probably why it was so soon.
yeah.
Oh, in case you were wondering, the fucking stupid ass Timothy McVeigh's last fucking meal was 2 pints of mint chocolate chip ice cream. Alright, basic bitch. I would
What
have
would you
gotten
have
something
asked for?
fancy. Well, I mean, I would have been like, I want either like steak, baked potato, and like a salad, Caesar salad, or I want like a real Italian meal.
Yeah, I was thinking pasta, like
But
tortellini,
if I were to
Alfredo.
pick ice cream, it would be something fancy like, strawberry cheesecake or like the Rocky Road stuff where it's like brownie pieces with
Yeah,
all
I
that
like
stuff. Not
mint
just,
chocolate chip.
it's alright. It's just basic.
Well, as for last words, he had none, but he did make a statement. According to an article by The Guardian, McVeigh handed a written copy of the poem Invictus by British author William Ernest Henley to his prison guard shortly before his death. A few lines from the poem: "It matters not how straight the gate, how charged the punishments, the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul." Um,
I thought it was crazy he had no last words, but he was selling bumper stickers saying, if my gun gets outlawed, I'm an outlaw.
yeah.
Like, you couldn't think of anything
Hmm.
besides this note, that poem that kind of doesn't really make, like, the end makes more sense than the beginning.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not the whole poem, but it's just
Well,
like
yeah,
the
but
last few lines. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I would at least be like, catch you on the flip side or something. Like,
like, at
peace.
least they didn't take my gun.
Hmm.
Or I'd just be like, fuck the ATF. Out. Like,
Yeah.
fuck the
drop
government.
drop the mic.
Yeah. But Timothy McVeigh became the first person executed for a federal crime in the United States since 1963.
So, a memorial was erected on the site where the bombing happened. In July 1995, a task force was created to help with creating the memorial. And the Oklahoma City National Memorial, that's now there, features a shallow reflecting pool, a survivor tree, a museum, and 168 lighted chairs with the names of each victim. And there's even more stuff there too. That was just a few
Aw,
things.
that's
Yeah,
sweet. I like the chairs lighted up.
me
That's,
too. Like, I looked
yeah,
up a picture and it's it's hard because it's like all of those represent a person. So it's like
yeah.
it's hard to
When you visually
swallow.
look at it, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, if we're ever in Oklahoma, I definitely want to visit this. Is like
Yeah,
to
if we ever
pay.
make it to OKC.
Yeah, we'll definitely pay our respects, as it's horrible what they did. And I get like being angry and not, wanting to have your rights and things like that, but you don't have to kill innocent people. I mean, there's just no point in that. I feel like you said, peace and love. That's all we need.
Yeah. That's my motto every day is just like try to spread as much love as you can. And I know it's hard. Sometimes I catch myself not doing that and I have to like get myself back into that
Mhm.
state.
Yeah, sometimes I, have to say a few cuss words under my breath. And then I can get on with my
Yeah,
day.
I've been working really, really hard on not flipping people off in traffic when they're driving like idiots. So
Mhm. But yeah, that's our episode on the Oklahoma City bombing. And
we learned a lot today.
yeah, fucking assholes.
Put it in reverse, Terry!
Next week, we're going to be ascending to the next level.
Yeah, you better get your Nikes ready.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have mine on. But yeah, we are ascending.
yes. So until next time, stay spooky.